Hey, everybody, this is Davis over at the CFG, and I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Pop Culture Gems. This is a series where we talk to amazing creators, artists, cosplayers, voice actors, and so much more. If you like the interviews we do with these amazing guests, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel, the CFG channel, or you could either go to our main website, confreaksandgeeks.com, to listen to the whole library, or go to any podcast services out there. Today, I am with a really awesome voice actor who has done over 100 roles in anime. You may have heard her in series like Sailor Moon Eternal as Sailor Neptune, the powerful Merlin in Seven Deadly Sins, the rich girl fighter Karin in Street Fighter V, the super thirsty Juno in Beastars. But you may definitely remember her as the female Titan, aka Annie Leonhart. I would like to welcome Lauren Landa to the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Davis. How are you doing, my friend?
I am doing great. I'm just
Awesome.
just having a fun time, man. That's just really,
Yeah, I'm
yeah, I'm
looking
really glad
forward to it.
Oh yeah, no, I've been looking forward. I'm looking forward to it too. Definitely, it's really awesome to see, especially now since I mean the last season of Attack on Titan and all this stuff. It's really kind of brings me back a little bit. So,
No
so that's
kidding.
that.
Yeah, and the fact that I don't know about you, but I did not know this. In fact, I really don't know if the Attack on Titan cast knew it, but we just got a part 3 announced a couple days ago, which is pretty amazing for the final season of Attack on Titan. There is a part 3 that's coming next year. So, I'm actually really happy about that because I was really hoping that wouldn't be the last episode. I was not, like, mentally prepared for it, and I don't think a lot of fans were. So, I was very happy that, part 3 was announced. So, I'm really excited. I'm really excited about it.
To be honest with you, though, I still haven't seen the most recent episode. I think I'm 2 episodes behind on it, but I am surprised that like I was actually dreading. I did not know that there was going to be a part 3. Because if they stopped it at that point, I'd be like, this
Girl,
creator or these publishers are cruel to the fans in general.
right? That would have been my thought too. I was as a, because even though I'm a part of the show, I'm also a fan of the show. So watching it and knowing that that's where they left off, if that had been the series finale, oh, I would have been heartbroken. I would have been absolutely heartbroken because that's not closure. And I think if we've learned anything, sometimes we do need a little bit of closure.
I
So
totally agree. Well, I mean,
yeah.
well, the biggest thing is that what make me furious is the fact that the manga's been done for a year or 2 years now, right?
Right,
And like
right.
they're so close. Like it's not like it's 100 chapters behind, or it is almost 1-to-1 close to the finish line, and they're like saying, "Okay, yeah, we're not going to finish it." It's like,
I
what is
know. Uh,
that?
for years, people kept asking me, "When's Annie coming back? Is Annie coming back? Is Annie coming back?" And I have not read the manga, and I know myself, Bryce Pappenbrook, I think Jessica Cavello, I think a lot of people in the cast have not read the manga, so we don't want any spoilers. Like, we've been avoiding
Mm,
spoilers, so we don't know what's coming and what's happening. So anytime somebody would ask me, "Is Annie coming back? When's Annie coming back?" I just wouldn't know what to tell them because I literally would have no idea. And so, I kept thinking, "Oh my gosh, if they just leave her in that crystal, how horrible would that be? How awful would that be to introduce this fantastic, amazing character, and then to not have her come out of that would just be, oh, that would just break my
you
heart.
totally.
That would break my heart.
That
So,
would be kind of funny. It's like, what about Annie? It's like, oh yeah, we forgot about her. She's still in the
yeah,
crystal. Oh
exactly.
no,
And then the true meaning of, "Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie?" No, I'm not okay,
it's
especially
it's
not
like
now.
Michael Jackson clearly called it back in 1988 when he made that movie. That
Oh,
song,
man.
yeah, but it's cool. Well, Lauren, thank you so much for joining me. I would love to geek out with you as all like this week. So it's freaking awesome that you came by to
Thanks
do
for
this.
having me.
Yeah, no problem. So let's just get this party started. So like, what is your story? Like, what got you into voice acting?
You know, I have I have different answers every time I answer this because there's not just one answer. There is just one answer on how I got into voice acting, but what inspired me, there's many answers for that. First of all, my father used to work for Disney when I was a little kid, and he used to bring me into the studio, into the recording studio, to watch some of the biggest names in the promo business for Disney. And I used to watch that, and I became enamored with being in the recording studio and watching them do that. But then, as you grow older, sometimes you forget memories, from when you were a little kid. And so, fast forward to when I was in middle school, I there was a career day. There was a career day, and I'm like 12, 11 at this point. I don't know what I want to do. There's so many things that I want to do, but I didn't pin one down. And I walk into my homeroom, and there is a gentleman, a tall gentleman with gray hair, and he's setting up a video. And on the board, it says voice actor or voice acting. And I thought, what? What is that? What? And it turns out that that gentleman was none other than Rob Paulson, who is the voice of Yakko from Animaniacs, Pinky from Pinky and the Brain, Carl from Jimmy Neutron, and the list can go on, and PJ from Goof Troop and the Goofy movies, all of that. Because I guess I believe his son went to my school, but was not there at the same time. But either way, he was able to do the Pinky voice for the entire class. But then I had to leave the homeroom because we had to go to our assigned classrooms for whatever career we had signed up to hear about. So
Oh
that
my
was
God.
I know, it was horrible. I was like, but I want to stay here. And I couldn't. So that was my second memory.
If
And then
one
late,
kid out in your class during that time said, I wanted to be a voice actor at 12 years old, and then they're
right.
like, oh, I'm sorry, you didn't choose this. You got to go to the other class B.
Exactly. Can you
That's cruel.
imagine? I know, so cruel. The world is cruel. That was my second memory. And then jumping forward to, I don't know, maybe about a year later or so, I started to get into anime. A friend introduced me to the wonderful series that I can't believe that I am now a part of, Sailor Moon, because as you know, back in the day, Sailor Moon was on Toonami. For me, it was every day at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I would watch it when I would get home from school, and I loved it. I fell in love with it. And then, of course, that led up to watching Dragon Ball Z and Gundam Wing and Tenchi Muyo. so, you know,
What?
so
Were you not a fan of Tenchi?
I tried to get into Tenchi. I tried, but I just couldn't. It just, anyway. So, I mean, I loved Little Washu. Little Washu was the best part for me. I loved Little Washu. But anyway, so I remember that. And then I just got into anime after that. And then I kind of dropped off from anime for a bit. And then when I got to college, um, I was trying to get a theater arts degree, which I ended up just dropping for reasons I'll get into in a second. But I needed some courses done. So one of them was a voice and diction class, and I needed 2 semesters of that. So I took one semester with a fantastic professor who truly you. Every time he spoke, it was like he was speaking poetry. It was ridiculous. And then the second semester was being offered by a wonderful lady by the name of Peggy O'Neill, who is also a voice actress. And on I don't want to say advertisement, but on the flyer for her class, it showed characters from Digimon and Scrap Princess and Wolf's Rain. And I was like, I know all of these shows. That is really cool. So then I decided to take Peggy's class, and she is a voice actress who has been in all of those shows and many, many more. And I took her class for about a semester, and I realized, you know what? I feel like I want to get into this. I think I want to get into this because I've been an actor my whole life. I've been an actor my whole life. It has always been in my blood. I got bit when I was about 2 years old by the acting bug, probably. I don't know how, but I just did. So I knew from a very early age that I wanted to perform and I wanted to create and all of that. So I took the class with her and I said, Peggy, I think I want to try this. And she said, well, if you are serious about it and if you want to try it out, then you need to take some extra classes and get in front of people and audition. And I thought, okay, how do I do that? Because when you realize you want to do voice acting, there are so many resources out there nowadays. But back then, there wasn't as many resources. And also, it's incredibly overwhelming. It's incredibly overwhelming. So it's always good to get direct recommendations, in my opinion. So she suggested that I take a course with a studio located in Los Angeles called Bang Zoom Entertainment. And they were offering a class named Adventures in Voice Acting. And I ended up taking that when they were just starting with those courses. The instructor for it was Tony Oliver, who is not only a fantastic human being, but a wonderful actor, director, writer. Tony, many people know him for many different things, but mainly Rick Hunter from Robotech.
Mhm.
Um, and many, many others. As soon as I try and list Tony's credits, my mind just goes blank just because there's so many. But
He's
anyway,
been
so
in the
I
game
took the
forever.
Oh my gosh, he really has. So I took the course with Tony, and during the course, we were able to go into the studio and kind of get a feel for how dubbing worked. And so I went in, and he immediately pulled me aside after class and said, "You should be doing this for a living." And I said, "Oh, really?
Dang.
Okay." So then he put me on an auditioning list for a show that would be happening within the next couple of months. And then I got called and I was cast in my very first anime, which was Magical Girl Lyrical Nanoha. And I played Arf and Chrono Harlown.
Oh,
So that was
wow.
sorry kids, that's a long story, but that's
I
how
love
I
it
got
though.
into voice acting.
I love
So,
the long story.
yeah,
See, but this is the kind of thing I always like to ask. I mean, I know you've heard this question hundreds of times because I mean, when you're going out on the circuits and stuff, but like to do it one
sure.
on one in a nice casual spot without
Yes.
worrying about back ambient noise and stuff like that. I loved. I mean, I would be able to listen to this all day, like just to see like what got you, like just to see what
Aw.
like your own personal story of it because
Well,
I
it,
feel
it
that
didn't
that's more genuine than the way it would be if I was at a convention.
and I agree with you. Because we're kind of pressed for time at conventions a lot. And for me personally, it didn't occur to me until recently that I feel there are so many things, like there are three memories that I just told you about in my entire life that directed me to get to this point. So I do
Mhm.
feel that it was meant to be. So
Oh
yeah.
no, most definitely. It's I mean that's awesome that you got like that like high praise like that. That's that like it's like oh yeah you should you it's like you have a voice for this and that's awesome and it's
Right, and it's not even I do wanna point out, it's not even the voice, it's the performance and it's the skill. That's something that
mm,
a lot of people don't understand and they might mistake it. You can have an amazing voice, right? You can do an amazing impression of, Kermit the Frog or Yoda or whichever, and that's wonderful if you can do impressions, that's great. But can you act? That's the real question. Can you act and can you do the dubbing skill? Because the dubbing skill, as I said, is actually a skill. And you can train for that. You can also learn how to do it. But with more experience, is how you become better at it. So, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, definitely love that. No, that's great. That's an awesome story. I definitely love. I just I still just would be I'm still kicking I'm just the idea with Rob Paulson that one that's the one that kind of gets me like, "Oh, you
I
got to
know.
be kidding me."
It's crazy. It's crazy. And I and I
Wow.
and I and I thought to myself, well, I don't think they're actually checking to see if, like, all of the names are maybe I could just but I was a good kid. I was not a rebel. I didn't lie. I didn't break the rules. So I was a goody two shoes. So I just chose to be honest and I
Yeah.
thought, well, maybe one day
Maybe
I'll meet him again.
yeah. That's true. I hope you have by now. I really hope you have by now. I would love to
Oh
talk to
yes,
that
Rob,
dude.
Rob and I, we haven't seen each other in a long time. But
Mhm.
he's a dear, sweet man, and I also have been fortunate to meet many people that I now adore. Jennifer
Oh
Hale.
no.
Oh
Okay.
no!
Oh no, you're
Oh
back.
no!
You're
Oh
back.
no! Oh no! Oh no. I'm sorry, I completely forgot to plug in my Ethernet cable. I was like, "Oh no." Oh wait, no, it isn't. It is plugged in. Stupid
Yeah, I
Wi-Fi.
don't know what
Anyway,
happened.
well, either way, we're back, folks.
Yes.
People that I now adore, such as Jennifer Hale, who we all know who the amazing Jennifer Hale is. And yeah, just many people that I feel very privileged to know and to be in the same industry with. Steve Bloom is an amazing human being, and I adore him. He's a wonderful, dear person and a good friend. And Mary Elizabeth McGlynn is also quite amazing herself. There's so many people. There's so many people in this industry that are just I just feel really lucky to work with or to know.
That's that's really awesome. All right. Well, here's another cool question I've been kind of wondering about. I mean, I know it's no secret that you're a fan of the horror genre, like
I
horror
love that
films and
that's
stuff
not a
like that.
secret. I love that the world and the internet knows that. I love it. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
If it was, it would be the world's worst secret. But
Right? I think
still,
I love it. I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
like, what are your three all-time favorite horror films? I mean, no order, just like when it comes to horror in your mind, what is your three all-time favorite horror films?
Okay, see, listen, something that you need to know about me and something that the entire internet needs to know about me. I am horrible with questions
Hmm.
that ask me for favorites because here's
Hmm.
the thing. It's always changing. It's always
Yes.
changing and if I feel like if I say this is my favorite blah 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 and then a month later someone says what's your favorite blah 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 and if I give them a different answer then I'm going to seem like a fake. I'm going to seem like a
Oh, I
fake.
understand. I understand,
You know, so
but here's the counter to your to a rebuttal for that, because we only have
tell
an
me.
hour, like at least an hour, at least an hour on this podcast. I don't know about you, but if we go into a deep discussion about horror films, it would take the whole episode, and I would be like, yeah, I need to limit it because I don't like.
Girl,
That's what I'm saying. It's like I
I
absolutely. So I
I
understand where you're coming
agree.
from.
I completely agree. So, I'm just letting everybody out there know in internet land that I do love horror and there are many movies that I love. So just so you know, my favorites are always based on my mood. They're always based
Hmm.
on in the moment. So just so you know. Okay, favorites. So first of all, uh they're these are my favorites because they still freak me out or scare me or they're just really good to this day. Um
Hmm.
Three came to mind immediately. One is The Exorcist. That
Of
movie
course.
is always going to terrify me. But it's so good.
Mm.
It's such an amazing movie. Do I have to pick three or can I fit in a fourth one? Can I fit in a
Okay,
fourth one?
since I like you, we'll do four.
Okay, four. I'll
We'll
do
do
four
four.
and I promise that's it. I promise that's it. So, okay, so The Exorcist is one. The next is Poltergeist, the original Poltergeist,
Hmm.
because that I believe that was the first horror movie that I ever watched, and it's just so good and it's so creepy. They're here, you can't go
Oh
wrong with that.
yeah. Oh my
Um,
god.
the third is the first Conjuring. I thought The Conjuring was very well done. James
Yes.
Wan is an amazing director and also a
Hmm.
fabulous human being. I had the privilege of meeting him. I think after the Saw movies, but he's a very sweet person. Um, and the fourth one is a movie that it's kind of a hit or a miss with people, but I personally
Hmm.
really like it, and that is The Exorcism of Emily Rose. That is one of my
I never
absolute
watched that
favorites.
one. I've heard of it. That just. I mean, that hasn't. It hasn't been a long time for that one to be released, right? Is that a recent one? Fairly
Oh,
recent.
no. No, no, no. Exorcism of Emily Rose was released in 2005, I believe, and it
Oh.
stars Jennifer Carpenter as Emily Rose and Tom Wilkinson as the priest. And Laura Linney, who is an amazing actress. It's what's cool about it is it's a courtroom drama. And
Hmm.
what it's about is this priest that's being and forgive me if I get the terms wrong. Please don't judge me. It's about this priest that is arrested on grounds of negligent homicide. And pretty much what that means is that he, in this particular case, he did not pay attention to Emily's health and performed exorcisms on her. And that is what the court believes originally led to her death. But what the movie is about is Laura Linney plays his defense attorney, and they basically are going between two different perspectives. They are going from the perspective of the spiritual perspective, which was, yes, Emily Rose was possessed by about 6 demons, or the medical perspective, which was, no, Emily Rose was mentally ill and she suffered from psychosis and epilepsy and all of that. And they basically go into all the testimonies explaining what each person's perspective was. And it's
Mm.
incredibly freaky to this day. Honestly, it gives me chills, and it's just so well done.
It
I like
sounds.
horror. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say it sounds kind of like super psychological. That sounds really like pretty
It's
cool.
very
Pretty cool.
It's very good. I like horror movies that don't always go for the cheap scare or the
Hmm.
campy acting. I'm much more, no, I like it when it has substance to it, you
Yeah,
know?
like
Which
pop
is why
scare, like no
well,
pop scares and all that.
I don't mind jump scares. I don't mind it, but as long as it's not every 5 seconds, you know?
Hmm.
I like, I just like different kind of genres. So, like
Yeah, yeah.
a lot of people are slasher fans. I'm not really a slasher fan. I have not seen
Hmm.
the new Scream yet. I probably will because, I want to, but I have to watch the original first
Hmm.
because I don't remember anything from it. So yeah, yeah, I'm a big horror nut.
It's so crazy. Like, how old were you when you watched the original Exorcism, or Exorcist?
I was okay, so there's actually a story behind that. There's a story behind everything, Davis. I hope you're ready for it.
Oh, I'm ready.
So when I was about 7 years old, I really
Hmm.
wanted to watch The Bride of Frankenstein. And my dad, who is one of my best friends when it comes to movies, like my dad and I are just big movie buffs. And my dad said, "Okay, well we'll go rent it, but just so you know, this was known as one of the scariest movies of its time when it came out." And I said, "Oh, okay. Oh, I'm so excited." I was a weird kid. Anyway, so I just, I was really excited. And my friend and I were having a sleepover and we watched it. And I don't know if you've seen The Bride of Frankenstein, while it is, part of cinema history. Oh my god, it is so slow. There nothing
Mm.
happens. The bride doesn't even come in until the end. So I just was waiting and waiting for something scary to happen, and I was just like, nothing is happening. And so I was kind of left disappointed because I was just like, I wasn't scared by that. So fast forward to when I was about 13, my friend said, "Ooh, you need to see The Exorcist. It's really scary." And the way she was
Oh
describing
my
it
god.
didn't sound very scary to me, but I was like, "Hey, why not? I'll try it." So then I said, "Hey dad, we're going to go rent The Exorcist." And my dad says, "Okay, but Lauren, this movie was known to be one of the scariest movies of its time when it came out." And I said, "Yeah, right. Okay, because he warned me about that for The Bride of Frankenstein. And look what happened. I was not scared. I was bored. So I just didn't believe him. I was like, yeah, okay, whatever." Okay, well
Oh
that
my god.
immediately changed. And I think about a half
Oh.
hour. Uh, I think I want to say like a half hour, 45 minutes into the film, don't quote me on the exact time, is when
Uh,
stuff starts to happen,
Stuff gets real.
and
Yeah.
the first real thing. Yeah. And the first moment where she's on the bed and she flops back and her eyes like go in the back of her head and this growl comes out of her, that is the moment where I thought to myself, "Oh my God, what did I get myself into?" Um, and
This is
needless to
funny.
say, there's a lot more very disturbing and very scary scenes in that entire movie. And I just, to this day, it still horrifies me. To this day, I
I
still have
love
to
it.
cover my eyes.
I love
So
it because it's like I want to know if your dad maybe like set you up to kind of like the long game of that, because like Bride of Frankenstein was like the 50s and they were like, okay, so
right.
just putting them back in the mind to just say, hey, this is what a horror movie was, so
Yes.
watch out. And then he's like, okay, I set the seed there, let's just wait for it to grow a little bit until they actually decided to release
I don't even
like
know, man,
The
but
Exorcist.
I don't even know, but I just know that I went out and I said, "Dad, this is a really scary movie." And he said, "I told you." And I was, so it's very, I couldn't sleep for 2 weeks after that. I couldn't
Oh my
sleep a full
god,
night's sleep
like
for 2 weeks.
that was one of the scariest movies when I was a kid watching that. And that one's like definitely on the list for me. But like Pet Cemetery was the one that I could, for some reason, like
Sure.
I don't know why, because oddly the thing is like I've never had a pet when I was growing up, but I was like, I don't know what got me connected to that film, but it's just like maybe the
Well,
kid, the
it's Stephen
child.
King. Stephen
That is
Stephen
true.
King knows how to get into your fears. That's why he's such a brilliant writer.
Hmm.
I mean, look at it. Look at it.
Oh
It's
yeah.
it's like so many kids have a phobia, or kids and adults have a phobia of
Clowns.
clowns. I've never had a phobia of clowns. I love clowns. I'm like, give me all the clowns. Also, I forgot to mention that even though it's not one of my favorites, and even though
Hmm.
I don't love the slasher genre, I love
Hmm.
Chucky. Who doesn't love
Oh,
Chucky? Like,
you know
come
what's funny?
on.
Every time when I see Chucky, I just can't help but laugh because I'll be like, your kill list as a doll is literally ridiculous comparatively. It's like
Yeah.
how do you kill so many people, and how many times does a doll gets away with it? Like y'all cannot kill a doll like at
I know.
all. Like
Yeah, yeah,
it's
really?
funny.
Like, come on now. He's made of plastic. He's
It's like I'll
made
be
of
damned if I'm going to get
plastic.
killed by you. It's like if I
I
die from you, I deserved it.
I will say I don't know if it's going to happen, but if I am ever given the opportunity to meet Brad Dourif, that would make my entire year, because he's so incredibly talented. Not just as a
Yeah.
voiceover actor, but just as an actor. Cuz he was in a movie, an older movie with Jack Nicholson called One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, where
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
he was amazing as the character Billy. And he also was in another little adorable movie called Escape to Witch Mountain, where he played
What?
this. Yes, he was not in the
He was in
original.
that?
He was in the
Oh,
remake. He was in the
the one with
remake.
The Rock?
No, I don't think No, no, no. Wait, what? Was The Rock in Escape to Witch Mountain?
Well, when he was starting his career, when they rebooted Escape to Witch Mountain, he was in it as like a driver or something like that. Like
Oh,
he
well,
was the
Brad Dourif was the driver in one of the remakes. There must have been more than one remake, but
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I thought there was
uh
only one set of remakes, but you're probably yeah, maybe.
yeah, yeah. I remember because, again, my dad, being my movie buff friend, was I was watching and he said, "Well, you know who that is, don't you?" And I said, "Who?" He says, "Well, that's the voice of your good pal, Chucky." And I was like, "What?" So it was just so funny. But
I
that's
did not
I found
know.
out.
Wow, that is crazy. Wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah, yeah. But I will say just real quick, one of my all time favorite horrors was The Thing, John Carpenter. Back with Kurt
Sure.
Russell and stuff. I loved
Mhm, mhm.
the like it didn't take no scenes, just close space, and then just basically like who is it?
Yeah,
Who's the fake? And then it's just oh, I love that when I was
tensions are
young. But
high, man. Yeah,
oh,
absolutely.
loved it. Okay,
Mhm,
cool.
mhm.
Uh, all right. And is there like I mean like is there something that you like to do to kind of unwind or disconnect from when you do like a day's work of like voice acting, or if you, or a voiceover work or anything like what is it that you do to kind of step away from that?
Honestly, I'm a big I love to write, and I'm
Hmm.
currently writing something that I can't really talk about at the moment. But I write. I also just get lost in whatever series I'm watching, because that's how I escape. That's my way of decompressing. Sometimes I'll go for a drive. I do love driving. Regardless of living in Los Angeles, I do like driving. Um, and just anything that will help ease my mind. So there's a lot of answers to that.
Oh,
But
okay.
after a long day, like after a full day of recording, honestly, just chilling and resting is probably the best thing I can do or anybody can
Hmm.
do. Now, is that always possible? No, but we try. So,
Right. Well, fair
yeah,
enough. And yeah, and also like, and I know you like to stream on Twitch.
I
With a
do.
shameless plug, check her out, Lauren Landa on Twitch, and and I saw your recent, like your, like last week, like your Annie cosplay stream, when it was just you just chatting
Oh,
with the girls and stuff
nice.
like that. So it's really cool. And I was just kind of curious, like what other kind of stuff do you like to stream when you stream on Twitch?
Well, first of all, thank you for the shameless plug because I am horrible at plugging myself. I'm horrible at just letting people know. So I'm going to do that real quick because otherwise I will forget. So yeah, you guys can follow me at twitch.tv/Lauren Landa. It's just one word. And also, if you guys are on Twitter, please follow me at Lauren_A_Landa on Twitter. I will say that if you are following a Lauren Landa account on Instagram, my friends, that is a fake account. It has been up for years. Please go unfollow it because that is not me. That is someone that created that profile, so it is not me. Anyway,
Yeah.
so yes, what else do I like to stream? Well, I do like to stream video games, the video games that I want to play, which not it doesn't always necessarily mean it's the popular game at the moment. If I like
Hmm.
the game, then I'll play it, but I have to like the game in order to play it. Right now I'm streaming. Well, I haven't been able to stream in gosh over a week now, just because my schedule has been so crazy. But um, right now I'm streaming GTA 5, which jeez, I love the game, but oh my gosh, there's so many swear words and ugly words in that
Yeah.
game, and I'm just like, oh god. But people who are watching me know that it is GTA 5, so it's kind of to be expected. Um,
Are you playing the
but
regular game or are you playing the online?
I am playing the regular game. A lot of
Okay.
people want me to play online. A lot of people want
Mhm.
me to play online, and I don't really know why. I don't know what features online has that the regular game doesn't. But yeah, so games. I also do Jackbox streams with guest people.
Mhm.
I haven't done it in a minute, but I also do voice actor guest streams as well. Not just voice actor guest streams. I've done other people that are not voice actors, but I just do guest streams, and sometimes I'll do voice actor panels or cast panels.
Mhm.
I've done two. I think I've done two Skate the Infinity panels, and I've done one or two Beastars panels. I'd love to do more. Hopefully soon. The problem is that a lot of people started expecting that that was all my stream was about. All they wanted was more
Mhm.
guest streams and panels, and I love doing them, but that's not what my channel is all about. I have a variety of things on my channel, so I kind of had to take
Yeah.
a step away from that a little bit. But that will be starting again very soon. I already have some guests in mind, so that will be starting up again very soon. Oh, also, another plug, I also have a YouTube channel, and
Mhm.
it's just under Lauren Landa. So yes.
Yeah, but it's really fortunate you got your full name and stuff without that, without putting like anything extra and stuff into it. You know,
Well,
that's really
that
nice.
yes, that is true for YouTube, but for other things, I might have to change it. I'm not sure, but yes.
Mhm.
So I was very lucky. But yes, I also have a YouTube channel, and I'm working on it, and I'm trying to come up with other stuff to post on there. Um, but
I love your
who
video.
has
Like,
time?
yeah, yeah, I love the videos that you did with, like, or I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was Twitch or if it was YouTube, but the one with you, because like when you and Jonah Scott was like just going back and forth with each other, that's just like, oh my god, this just got
That's
crazy. It got really funny.
That's me and Jonah whenever we have a panel together or whenever we interact. It's just, Jonah Scott, who's the voice of Legoshi from Beastars, he and I met through Beastars. And he's a wonderful human being, and he and I have become very good friends because of Beastars. And he has
Mhm.
just blown up overnight, and I'm very proud of him for that. And I really want to do my best to support him because he's incredibly talented. He is incredibly, incredibly talented, and he knows it. He knows it too.
It's like you're just like, yeah, has a little bit of an ego. No, I'm just saying my
No,
words,
no, no,
not
no.
yours. But just saying.
No, Jonah, no, Jonah, no,
I'm
what I
just kidding.
Oh, no, no, no. Jonah is the least egotistical person that I know. But I appreciate that he knows, like many actors do, they know what they can do with their skills. And that's kind
Yeah,
of more of what I meant. But no, Jonah is a very sweet, very nice person, and he's incredibly talented and lucky to have him as a friend.
very much so.
And he's doing it, man. He's really doing super well, and I'm super proud of him.
Yeah, I talked. Well, we've talked to him actually. I think we talked to him about 5 months ago
Oh,
on this
nice.
on here. Yeah, and like he basically just told me the whole story, like where like how it all started. I was like, wow, dude, that's just
Sleeping on a
impressive.
mattress.
Just yes, with roommates and stuff, like with
Yep.
the other people, and then just like wow. And then you
It
got
is
your
not
first role was
always
Lakoshi.
is n
Yeah.
it's not always a glamorous thing, and a lot of people think it is, and it's not. So,
No,
you know?
yeah. He paid his dues. I'm glad, yeah, definitely glad for him too. I totally agree. And like do you ever play any games that you yourself did, like that you were in? Like have you ever done that?
Yes. I started, Scarlet Nexus,
Mhm.
and I play Kyoka Eden in that. I I got a little intimidated by I got a little
Really?
intimidated. It's a gorgeous game, and it's so much fun, but I am not a gamer. I like to play
Hmm.
video games, but I am definitely not like I mean, I guess I am a gamer now, but I'm not like a professional
Yeah.
gamer. I don't play games on normal settings sometimes. I have to play it on
Hmm.
easy. But I will say I'm pretty sure I'd have to go back and look, but for Resident Evil Village, I'm pretty sure I either played it on normal or easy, and nobody
Hmm.
can judge me for that. Okay, look,
No,
everybody on
no,
your
no.
YouTube channel, they're gonna comment judging Lauren, judging. It's fine, whatever. But it was still fun because I wanted to play it for the story. I didn't want to play it for the game. The battle, the gameplay and the battle. I wanted it for the story. So that's kind of
Mhm.
why I put it on easy.
You know
But
what? You don't even need to explain yourself on that, because the way I've always looked at it though too, because like for instance, you play beautiful games like Horizon Zero Dawn or Forbidden West
mhm.
and stuff like that. Some people don't care about. I mean, people do care about the fighting and then the story to get to the to finish from point A to point B.
Right.
But some people just want to play the story,
Right.
and I just yeah, and there's different kinds of gaming, and so I
Right.
know there's the people that are like the get goods, like the people who are like, hey, let me do Elden Ring backwards and blindfolded and stuff
Look,
like that.
look. Okay, listen.
Yeah.
My okay, listen. I just got my boyfriend Elden Ring for his birthday, and I'm just like, good luck. You're gonna want to rage quit in about an hour. Good luck to you. I have not played Elden Ring, but I have many friends who are way bigger gamers than me, and even
Mhm.
they are like, I can't with this game. I can't. Like, because apparently it takes like a full hour to beat the first boss or something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really know. But I've heard that it's like Dark Souls, and Dark Souls I've heard many, many times is just very difficult. So that's already a big
Mhm.
nope for me. Um,
You want a
but
broken system. I totally understand.
and there are plenty of other games. Like I really want to play Mass Effect. I want to play Mass Effect. I've never played Mass Effect.
Uh-huh.
My two favorite games are Red Dead Redemption 2
Mhm.
and Days Gone. Days Gone's great, and I love the GTA games. I think they're a lot of fun.
I need to play
Oh, and
Days Gone. That's
Spider-Man.
the one game. Oh,
Oh,
Spider-Man, yes.
S- Days Gone is so good. You have to play it. It's so good.
I
It
okay.
Go for
My
it.
ex gave me that a long time ago, like maybe when it first came out on the PS4, and I was like, okay, let me try playing it. And to be honest with you, I only played 2 hours of it, so I never really gave it
Mm.
a good chance. But I've always said to myself, I really need to go back on this game because I've heard that it gets better, like story wise and stuff.
Some people, it's a hit or a miss for some people, like, just like every game. For me, I loved it because it was open world. I'm much more of the open world kind of stuff. I like the side missions. I like that.
Hmm.
I like that.
Exploring.
Exploring, all of that. I
Hmm.
hate grinding. I hate
Mm.
grinding with a fiery passion because I just want to get on with it. That's why I'm always horrible with the Final Fantasy games because they require for you to grind and to level up, and I just couldn't do it. But I love Final Fantasy. It's Final Fantasy 8 is my favorite Final Fantasy game.
See,
So
so it just sounds like you seem like a gamer that loves stories, but just don't
yes.
want to go through the the repetitiveness of like yeah. So I mean, that's normal. That's normal. That's
Well,
cool.
thank you, Davis. I appreciate that. I
Yeah,
appreciate
well,
that.
yeah. I'm just saying, like, hey, a game is a game. If you play it the way you wanted to play it, that's awesome. That's cool. But you're not less of a gamer because that you're playing it on easy. That's all I'm saying. It's just like it's just
Well,
you like your priorities is just different. That's all that
well, I,
matters. I mean,
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
that's all good. Okay, now, as you already know, and you already said earlier, like Sailor Moon here in the States has come a long way from when the original dubs in the 90s heavy censorships
hmm
were happening. Now that you are able to play like an uncensored version or the original, like I guess essentially like the original version was how Sailor Uranus was supposed to be. Like,
Oh,
did
Sailor
you have any
Neptune.
kind of Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Sailor
It's
Neptune. My
okay.
bad.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. That you like the original feel. Like, did you have any kind of feelings on the representation of the LGBTQ of like from where it initially started?
Well, did I have any kind of feelings on the represent well, I mean, okay, I'm gonna answer this as best as I can. So first of all,
Uh
when I was a Sailor Moon fan, I loved the
huh.
fact that they were a couple. I have always
Mm,
been incredibly supportive of the LGBTQ plus community. And I have many friends that are in that community, and I do consider myself an ally. Um,
mhm,
so 100% I support it. I support the representation. And what I usually tell people is that back in the 90s it was a different time. um it was a different time. And also I want to point out that the original Canadian cast of Sailor Moon and the director, they are all wonderful people who they knew they
mhm.
knew what the relationship was between Uranus and Neptune, but they it wasn't really their choice, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So they
Mhm.
couldn't really go anywhere with that, unfortunately. Um, but I when I found out that I was cast as Sailor Neptune, both myself and Erica Mendez, who played Sailor Uranus, we both knew that we wanted to help bring their true relationship to life, and we wanted to help bring that love alive as best as we could. We were both very,
Mhm.
very excited to help bring them to life with the original relationship that they intended to have and that they did have. So, yeah, 100%. I really feel honored. I feel honored to have been a part of that. And while I myself might not be a member of the LGBTQ plus community, I certainly so greatly appreciate um, the fans and their support for people, uh, you know, the people within the LGBTQ plus community, my friends, people that I don't even know. They have been so incredibly supportive of it, and that's something that I appreciate, and I greatly appreciate their support, and I love that they liked my performance and Erica's performance. That if they're happy, then I'm happy. That's
Well,
basically
that's
the
good.
short answer.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, I just know for the like, I mean, like, because I mean, if I remember correctly, because I'm trying to remember fully, because I know how it was originally. I guess it's like the Adult Swim version was that they introduced Neptune and Uranus, like Uranus as like not brother and sister, but
they were
like
cousins.
kind of
They were
relatives. Yeah,
cousins.
they're relatives. Yeah, yeah. But and no, and it was to no one's fault of that because you're right. 90s, like the 90s, and that was the time when where things were really sticky, and especially like I mean, shoot, there was heavy censorship and even Dragon Ball for crying out loud.
Oh,
So
100%. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right.
yeah, yeah. But like then when you realize, like when you look at when you either if someone read the mangas back in the day or even
Yeah.
to now, like the stuff like that, because like I'm not really myself personally, I'm not really knowledgeable on Sailor Moon, but I do
Sure.
know that like when you see this kind of jump of like, oh, this is how they were supposed to be, it's still like it's like wow, like
It's a little
just the
jarring.
realization of saying, yeah, just the realization where it just comes like you're saying, wow, we came a really long way from where
We
what it
did.
was, 20 something years ago. It's insane, when you really
Well,
think about it.
what's interesting to me is that in the original subtitled version, they very much were a couple, and it's interesting to me how in the States we couldn't. I'm sorry, not in the States. In Canada, they weren't
Mhm.
able to do that. So yes, we have come very far, and I will tell you upright that I was terrified when I was cast as Sailor Neptune. I was terrified because I really just wanted to do right by her, and I wanted to
Mhm.
make sure that because the thing about Sailor Moon that everybody loves, and the reason why so many people are drawn to the show, is because it teaches us so many things about love and to accept ourselves for who we are and to love ourselves, and also how we treat people in our lives. And I just wanted to help bring that notion of, this is what Uranus and Neptune really are. This is who they are. This is their love. This is their true love. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing, and it's gorgeous, and their love for each other is incredibly strong. And I just felt honored to play a character that did have that kind of love and did have that kind of partnership. And when I say partnership, I mean life partner, destined partner, fighting part, all of the above. So I felt incredibly fortunate and honored to have played her. And I to this day, I truly hope that people like my performance as her, because it meant a lot to me personally, because Sailor Neptune and Uranus were my two favorite characters in Sailor Moon. So
They did
it's
make it interesting, I will say.
yeah.
as a group and everything, it did make it really interesting. So
Well,
yeah,
it's a full
definitely.
circle for me, which makes it even more special. So I just, when I was cast as her, I was very excited for myself because, is the character that I wanted to play since I was a kid. But at the same time, I knew that there was something more, something bigger than what I was excited about. So, yeah.
Right. Well, that's awesome. Well, no, you did a fantastic job on it. So
Thank you.
definitely.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, and I mean, and it has been it's been 8 years since the first season of Attack on Titan when you first played the female Titan Annie Lockhart or Leonhart, sorry, Annie Leonhart,
Mm.
and yeah, and now on its final season, when you look back at it, is there something that you miss either in the series itself or with Annie the character, that you would miss when you see when it's finally said and done?
Uh, honestly, I just, this show has been such a huge part of my life and my career. It was my first show with Funimation, so that's always going to be very near and dear to my heart. I've also met such amazing people through this show that are now dear friends of mine. Um, but apart from that, I
Hmm.
recently binge watched well, not the whole series, but up until, when they started releasing part 2 of season 4. Uh and I was watching it. I tried to separate myself from, just as a viewer as opposed to someone who's in the show. And I honestly, I was watching it and I started to cry in many different scenes because the performances in this show are absolutely amazing. Like I can't, I was trying to think of another word other than amazing, but they're just fantastic. And I it's such an amazing show, and I don't think there's going to be another anime like it ever. I really don't. Now, like I said, I could be proven wrong, but I don't see it happening. If it's wrong, I will be happy to admit it, but I don't think there's ever going to be an anime like Attack on Titan. And but anyway, in answer to your question, am I going to miss anything? Um I just, it's one of those things where we don't want our favorite series to end, but at some point they're going to have to end. And I don't
Right.
want this show to end. I don't want it to end. I want it to continue. I want to see the main characters save the world. I want them to save it from the horrors that are happening right now, you know? But in Annie, as far as Annie goes in particular, I am going to miss she's just such an awesome character. She's
He
such an
really
awesome
is.
character, and Yeah, I'm just gonna miss playing her because I don't. I again, I'll be surprised if I'm ever cast as another character exactly like Annie. But
Mhm.
I'm going to miss her arc, like her story arc, because in the first season we don't really know much about her, and we are just now learning about Annie a little more. And her arc is just so fascinating to me because from a young age she was brainwashed into thinking the people of parody were these evil people, and she was trained as a soldier from a young age, and so but the audience is built to believe, oh, she's the enemy, she's the antagonist, when really the show basically tells you, okay, but who's the real villain here?
Mhm.
Like who are we supposed to root for? And that's what's so compelling about the show. I'm not even answering your question at this point. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay because I mean, it's like some. I mean, I was actually kind of 50-50 wanting to ask because I really kind of was like, it's really would be a little tough because this show. I would say the one thing I love about this show about Attack on Titan, because originally it's the roller coaster of Attack on Titan itself and story wise
Right.
is probably like you were saying. It's something that I don't, and I totally agree with you when you're saying this. You won't see another show like this
Right.
like I don't think you'll ever see a show like this because the pacing of this show is so up and down that I
Yeah.
have never but like it have their highs, they have their suspense, then you have the lows about like what's going on, then you find the twist, then you find the
Yep.
twist within the twist, and then you find I mean this thing puts you in a in a ringer of like what are you needing to root for or who is the good guy, who's the bad guy, which is incredible because you don't usually see that, especially in an anime. Uh,
No, you really
like,
don't.
yeah, like especially in the anime, and like how crazy the story can get, and it makes a lot of sense, but yeah, so I will accept the running on sentence with this, but I'm just saying,
There's just I have a lot
there's
of
just so
thoughts and
much.
feelings. I have a lot of thoughts and feelings about this show, okay? That's all. But in a short answer, I'm going to miss everything. So,
Okay,
there you
that is
go.
perfectly fine. I'll totally go with that. All right. All right. And here's just a random hypothetical because I mean also throughout your career you played a lot of iconic fighting game characters like Karen from Street Fighter 5, Kasumi
Mhm.
DOA 5, Lychee, Blaze Blue, like just to name a few of them. Like I mean, do you have like a favorite fighter that you play? Like, oh, I shouldn't say favorite, but do you have like
I
one that you
know,
kind
because
of
you know how I do with favorite questions, Davis. Did we not
right?
learn this earlier on in the podcast? Uh
I didn't know when I was writing this down. So, but like, or like, who would you think would win? Let's say we won't let you choose. Let's just like, who would you say would win in a fight? Like, in like a fight if they all came at each other at the same time.
If they all came at each other at the same time, have you seen the
Yes.
characters that I play?
Oh, I have.
Oh man.
I
I
yeah.
I think it would have to be okay, well, honestly, I feel like Karin Kanzuki and Kasumi would probably be the last two fighting. Like I think they
Oh,
would be
okay.
the last two standing because they are
Uh,
both incredible fighters. And I
mm.
think out of the two of them though, I have no. Who do you think would win?
I personally think Karin, in my opinion, like I
Really?
just think like
Okay.
yeah, I just think that there's something about her because and because I play a lot of fighting games and with her in her sets, she's just so annoying. But like overall,
You know what?
like
That's okay because I'll tell you something. With the exception of Kasumi, please don't ask me why. I am usually cast as characters that are incredibly technical that I can't play them. They're way too. I can't play as Lychee. I can't play as Kadin. I can't because I will die. I will
oh
die,
yeah,
and I'm a button masher. That's how I play video games. I'm sorry. That's how I play fighting games. So I can't I just the whole combo, I can't, and
yeah.
the fact that there are tournaments for these games is
Mhm.
amazing to me because I'm just like, "You guys are amazing. Can you
Sometimes when
teach
you
me
like
your
watch an
ways?"
you're totally right. Like when you watch an Evo tournament and you're like, wow, these people are just like,
Oh my
who would have thought
god.
this
And
person could do all of this and stuff? Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm either Connie won Evo or she almost won Evo. I don't remember, but
I honestly do not remember, but I
this
could
was like
see. I
before the
know.
pandemic. So
Yeah,
I
I
don't remember.
know. Like the number one persons, like people like in Korea in Asia, was using Karin, and he was just almost unstoppable. I think it was Gamerby. I can't remember,
It's
but yeah,
crazy,
dude, yeah,
man.
it is
I love it.
crazy.
I love that there is a whole world for that. I love it.
Right. All right. Okay. So I got one final question for you. And
Okay.
we good. Like, and I love the Beastar series, and the character that you played, Juno, is like an interesting character herself. Like, besides being like super thirsty for Legoshi, to me, she brings like an interesting vibe that causes me to kind of not trust her. I don't know why or what it is
Okay.
about because of her bubbliness or her positivity
Are you saying
occasionally,
bubbly people can't be trusted? Is that what you're
Well,
saying?
I'm saying that it, like, you know how you have that fake like you see fake happiness or some sort, or
Yes.
like fake positivity. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting with her all the time.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, so like what was your feeling or experience on, like, I mean, like when you played Juno herself, like what was your do you have any personal feeling on that?
Well, first of all, like Attack on Titan, I have not read the manga for Beastars, and I also love the show. The show's just so good. Um, you know, from the performer's perspective,
Hmm.
honestly, again, I have not read the manga, but I
Hmm.
see right now where I'm at, I see Juno as someone who just I don't think she's two-faced. I don't think she's
Hmm.
two-faced. I don't think she has an agenda. I think she's just she unfortunately I think just really wants to be noticed, and I think she really wants to be loved, and I think she wants to help in some cases, but unfortunately I think she's just in the way more so, and I think she's overzealous, and I think she's maybe a little overly anxious to help. Um with Lego, who
Hmm.
knows what's going to happen in season 3, right? Like I have
Oh
no
god.
idea if she's going to now be more into Louis, because she and Louis have started to have a little, connection there. And I think I ship her and Louis more than I ship her and Legoshi anyway.
I would
So,
agree with that.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and I love Legoshi, and I think if Juno were a little different, I think Legoshi and Juno would make an awesome couple. But you got Lego She, who is the most awkward boy on the planet,
Hmm.
and then you have Juno, who is like, Lego She, let's do this, let's do that. And it's like, oh my God, calm yourself, girl. Just calm yourself. Just shh, it's okay. So yeah, but I as far as what I see with her, I think honestly I just see her as this kind of lovesick wolf who just really wants to be noticed and wants to help, but just maybe gets in the way when that's not what she's trying to do. So I kind of feel bad for her, but I can definitely see why some fans would find her annoying,
Right.
because many people do, but also many people love her. So, you know.
Okay. Good one. Good choice. Good one. Lauren, thank you so much for coming on to the show. Really appreciate it. It was awesome talking to you. It was great. Before I let you go, is there like are there any upcoming events or anything that you can like let your fans know that they'll be able to see you like at a convention or anything like that?
Yes, actually, I have quite a few. Okay, so first off, I don't know when you're airing this, so it might be a little late, but I do have a Streamily signing uh, April 9th, which is tomorrow at 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time on my Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/Lauren Landa. My next convention appearance will be at SAC Anime Spring. That will be April. I have to look at my calendar now. That will be April 15th to the 17th. And then I will be at a 1 day event in Kingsland, Georgia, and it's Beta Quest. And then I will be at an event in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I can't say the name because it hasn't been announced yet, I don't think.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
then the weekend of May 28th, I will be at Anime Boston, which I'm very excited about because I love Anime Boston. I haven't been there in a couple years, so it's going to be great. And let's see, in June, I'm going to be in Texas at Kyokai Con. And there's going to be a bunch. And for those of
And
you who want to know what appearances I will be at, please give my Twitter a follow. That is the best place to see all the announcements. And also go to my website, which is laurenalanda.com. I'll be updating all of my appearances there as well. But if you have a Twitter, please follow me on Twitter because that is where I post most of my announcements and appearances and all of that. So I'm trying to think of what else. Oh, also on my Twitch, I will also be doing a voice request stream at some point very soon, which is very exciting. Usually, what happens with my Twitch channel is we will set a sub goal. And if we meet the sub goal, then we do whatever the goal is. And that was a sub goal that my chat wanted. So we got it.
that's awesome.
Yes. So, and there will be more. I'm sure there will be more cosplay streams. While I am not a cosplayer, I am not a professional cosplayer. I just do it for the sub goals. They're a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun. And yeah. So my streaming schedule is not really set. But again, if you follow me on Twitter, you will know when I'm streaming. So yeah.
All right, awesome. Yeah, man, that is some good plugging. That's some good plugging right there.
I'm so proud of myself.
Uh,
I usually forget. So
I forgot like how many conventions there are again. Like now, since we're kind of getting back into the full steam of things, it's like, oh wow, that's right, man. It's like a
oh my
convention every
lord.
week nowadays.
It's going to be insane, man. It's going to be crazy. And for those of you who are going to be at those conventions, please come by and say hi and please get something signed because it's been years since we had conventions all the time. So we're getting back
Mhm.
to it, man.
Oh, big deals. Yeah, big deal. Well, like once again, thank you, Lauren, for coming on, and folks, thank you. You can check out this podcast interview with the amazing Lauren Landa, as well as any other podcast episodes of the podcast. Sorry, Pop Culture Gems on our website. I almost forgot the name of my own show. That's terrible.
It
At
happens.
confreaksandgeeks.com. Oh, definitely. Or check out Pop Culture Gems on any podcast services out there. We really be appreciated. So once again, this is Davis signing off. Y'all take it easy.
Bye, guys.